Your question is, okay, let me go here. So your question is this, right? So the software should be portable. So moving from one OS to another OS should not create any problem, correct?
Exactly.
Okay, so now first I will go with the legacy scenario so that you will be very clear. So I have a normal, forget about the cloud, forget about the Docker. We are in 20 years back. Assume we are 1990s. So we are having one machine, server one. I am installing the Windows. Okay, I'm installing Tomcat just for an easy example. Okay, so I have the some web application which developed in Java, and during the compilation I got a WAR file. So I am deploying on top of Tomcat. So once I deployed, I will get the URL, say localhost colon port 8080. And my the application is I'm able to access via website. This you agree, Jefferson?
Yes, I agree. I agree.
Okay. So now you are getting into a call from your manager that okay, we don't want to Windows anymore. We want to deploy the same in say Linux. So he is providing one more machine. So you are going to the server 2, which is having the Linux. So sorry for my not good handwriting. So you are going to the Linux and you are installing Tomcat for Linux. Okay, web application server in Linux. So you can deploy this here. So in Linux, you can deploy, but previously what happened is there will be a 1990s while creating this application itself, there will be a native library also they will add. Because of that, the base OS is going to be your major dependency. So previously, still I remember when I started my career, the developer will develop application for Windows, they will develop application for Linux, they will develop application for Solaris, they will develop application for HP Unix. So now you tell me, is it a more headache for application perspective or delivery perspective or from the all support perspective? Is that correct, Jefferson?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So this is the exact we get right these days via containerization. Okay. So now let this environment is here. So now I am going with the VM, the same concept. So I'm going with a VM with Windows, and in the VM also it's look like the same issue. But if you go and create, say this is my Windows, okay, but I have installed Docker for Windows, Docker engine, right? So on top of Docker, if I do the same, if I create a custom image and deploy this WAR file, so I need to create one web application container. Remember, I deployed this container on top of Docker. So Docker don't care what is my base OS. Okay. Now I am going to other machine. The other machine you are going to other machine. The other machine is having Linux. Let it be Linux or SUSE Linux or Red Hat Linux or whatever. But you are installing Docker for this OS. Okay. So now you can take this image. Remember, you have created custom Docker image, which is the basic Docker admin skill, and you stored it in somewhere, hub.docker.com or some Docker registry. So from there, you download and spin it here. It will spin because this container need only Docker engine. The container will talk to Docker. That's it. So the container will not directly related, but it is related, but via Docker. So now you tell me all your headache is get rid of in this without any single issues, Jefferson.
Exactly. That resolves all the problems.
Yeah,
The Docker resolves all the problems. So you can just easily migrate the application to different servers because you are installing it on Docker.
yeah.
That's nice. Thanks.
So now you are clear, right?
Yes, yes, I'm very clear. I'm very clear. Thank
Okay, okay, okay. So now anybody? I think I'm seeing a lot of hands raised. Wait, let me. Okay, Satya, Srinath, Narendra, Isaac. Already you are all given access. You can lower your hand if you don't have any question, and you can unmute anytime. You can even unmute anytime. Okay, so now we will go one by one further topics. Okay, before going here, I want to show you a couple of cost savings part. Okay, I'm going with a VM instance. These are all I already covered most of my sessions, but still I want to make sure everyone is clear before we further. Okay, now your client is asking one simple question, or your manager is asking one simple question. Okay, you are going to new project. Your manager is asking per hour. Okay, or in 3 months, your application currently going to currently getting some say 10,000 users request per hour. This is current. Okay, and your manager or your team lead or your new project or new interview saying this scenario. Next month or next week, once you deployed a new version application and you are about to receive some 50,000 users. Okay, you may be a developer, or you may be an infrastructure, or you may be a solution architect, or you may be a fresher, or you may be some kind of a managerial role. So what is your stake? So I'm asking you to achieve this, how many VMs you need? VMs you need. Can anyone share your views? If I ask you how much VM you need, what is your stake on this? Uh,
Hi Vijay.
Hi.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Based on the application size, we already calculate the performance of the VM.
Yeah.
So that can be defined. So based on the application size only.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. You go on mute. Any other suggestion or any other views?
Yeah, Vijay, I would check the current utilization,
Okay.
okay, and the application architecture. Because when we are going to scale, it doesn't need to be always hardware. The hardware can be redundant.
So no, wait. We will go one by one. So you will consider the current and past at least 3 months utilization, correct?
Yes, history.
Okay. Any other point?
Yeah, second point that I want to look out is how much of that particular utilization is taken by application.
Okay.
Okay. Because there are chances that in our VM, there are multiple agents which keeps on running in production environment, right?
Okay.
So
Yes.
those VMs, in case we are increasing the VMs, we are increasing the number of agents also, whereas the application takes only very less amount of the chunk of memory, correct?
Okay. Okay.
So, and if possible, I will always try to extend the scope with change with respect to changing from the application architecture,
Okay.
so that the
So,
cost doesn't go
you
high.
can say from this, with respect to this application,
Yeah.
how much I am consuming. Based on that, I can take a decision. Correct.
Yes.
So that is also part of this utilization report, your
Yes.
analysis. Is there any other point you want to consider to decide this manager question or to decide the interview question?
How many requests will be issued or replacing that application based on that?
Yes, that is. So currently, how much request is coming, and as part of the business expectation, once they launch the offer, how much approximate additional requests they are foreseeing. So number of requests, this is one of the key parameter you need to taken care or consider or analysis. Okay, is there any other parameter you need to decide? No, the load testing and all we are going to do. But before that, I'm asking what all areas. Yeah, there is a one more thing. The load testing and all, to achieve this, you need to get some results. So for that only you are doing all load testing, performance testing, everything. So I'm asking what criteria you first define. Based on this criteria only, you can go and process. Yeah, exactly. Srini was, he mentioned peak time hours. So that is the major key area where you need to first consider what is peak time, what is non-peak time. This is a very crucial. If you go to any project, if you go to any interview, if you go to any exam, please note down. Anyway, I'm going to publish all this to you. Please take some good understanding on the basics. So peak time hours. Yeah. Is there any other parameter? Srini.
And
Yeah,
the kind
Srini,
of
I unmuted you. Yeah, Muthu, you also go ahead.
Vijay, we can look at the kind of the request. Is it a static or dynamic, or is it really
no?
request?
When you take a decision, normally you first go with all high level. Okay, then because the high level will give you some approximate. Then you go and nail down each and every bit. That will be easy for you to. Otherwise, what will happen is you will end up with nowhere. Okay, so
also need to check the available timings. So at what time the application will be available.
Yeah, that is what it will fall under this peak time and the non-peak times. Both peak time and non-peak time will comes under the availability times. That is our business timings, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so
Sometimes if we don't have any load, we can put the hold or something. I didn't
okay,
get the right word. Yeah.
okay, no issues. I will explain. So here, so you need to first consider. Okay, you need to consider the current one. You all go on mute. So you need to consider all this part before we going to this. So we will do one thing. We will just go and do some sample one. I'm going to take this. Okay, but I'm going to remove all values. So you are going to help me to understand what is this. In front of you, I'm going to do it, but this is really a high level. But there are disk IO, there are network IO, everything you need to take care. But in high level, okay, I am working on one project, say some Walmart, right? So the manager is saying, so 10,000 requests, it is coming. So in that case, what is your stake? So I'm just going to say remove everything I'm going to say remove everything. I'm going to say remove everything. So the Walmart.com, if you have any developer or if you have any functional team, so first you need to get some approximate how much my website size, each website page. Say for example, if you go to any website, you can have the developer, you sit with the developer and you can have the discussion, what is my page size? Because most of the websites parallelly you can calculate as a XML. XML is getting loaded in the browser, right? So you can get approximate size. If the developer, all the discussion from the discussions, you getting the point. Okay, my website size is the page size is say 90 KB. I'm just giving an example. So in that 90 KB, so you know the approximate page size. So even sometimes the developer will say to do a fund transfer, you need to browse 5 pages. So 5 into 90 KB, those will be your base calculation. So we will go with some approximate. I'm trying to get some good idea to you. So 50 or say 90 KB. So 10,000 into 90, how much? Anyone tell me? 10,000 into 90. I think everybody now
It's a
started
9
listening.
lakhs.
So I'm going to unmute. Please be in mute if you want to talk and unmute anytime to you.
Yeah, it's 9 lakhs.
Yes. So I'm just going to put say 9 lakhs, right? 9 lakhs. So in that case, my manager or my client says they are going to release a new version or a new offer, which going to expect, they are expecting instead of 10,000 requests, they are expecting some say 70,000 requests. So in that case, how much you need, you will get. Sorry. So here, instead of 10,000, so you will have this value, right? Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes, yes.
Okay. Now I'm going to, my expectation is 70,000 requests coming time. So I need to define, I need to come up with some approximate. Again, I'm saying this is going to give you a rough idea, but there are network, there are disk, which you also need to consider as part of this, plus application performance, plus application location also has to be considered. Okay, so now you put this 90 KB. So you take some one VM. That VM capacity is 1 CPU, 1 GB memory. Okay, I'm just going to delete all this. So first you fire one request. The machine is not crashed. It's fine. So I'm going to fire 2 requests, not crashed. So when I fire 200 requests, the server was stable and there is no issue. When I fire 201 requests, the machine is getting crashed. Then as a technical person, you need to record this. So 200 request, what will be the capacity? 200 into how much? 90, right?
Yeah, yes.
So this capacity machine capable to handle 18,000 KB size. So again, you saw some crash. So what you are doing is, as a technical person, you are increasing the capacity. One more CPU, one more GB RAM. So you are firing at 400 or 450 request. Again, you are seeing the machine is getting crashed. So you note down 430 request, it get crashed. So that means 430 into 90, right? Correct or not?
Yeah, also we have to include the CPU and GB 2 into 2.
No, this is the capacity. So this
Okay.
capacity machine, we are trying to prove this much capacity request is capable to handle.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so say for example, the reason why we are capturing all this exercise is, so now you know 2 CPU machine very well handle 430 request on 90 KB size, correct? Correct or not?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is the exercise we are doing it here. So now slowly, sorry, I'm going to copy this. So now you are keep on increased one more CPU, one more GB RAM, and you are seeing the crash 600 request. If you give 601, the machine is getting crashed. That means you record this. So what is your stake? 600 into 90, right? So
Yeah.
now
Correct.
the similar way, you keep on increase one more CPU, one more GB RAM, and keep on fire, and you record. So what is this 90,000? You can say up to 10,000 requests. During that, your capacity is 20 CPU, 20 GB memory. In that case, are you now satisfying the current requirement or not? Can you confirm?
Yes.
Yes.
So to
Yes.
handle this application, then you need to have how much capacity in the machine you should have? 20 CPU, 20 GB memory. You all agree?
Yes.
I think I'm going to wake up a couple of people. They are sleeping. Fatima and Siraj. So yeah, you can also start share your views. I think there is other people also. Please come forward and share your views so that we can have more interactive way. So now you all agree, if I create a VM with 20 CPU, 20 GB memory, it is capable to handle. Again, I'm repeating, this is not an exact calculation. This is give you a basic idea to start with, but it's a more clear idea. Now, again, you are started continuing your testing, and at some point you got 63 lakhs request, right? 63 lakhs, right? So when you have 75 CPU and 75 GB memory, you are able to understand this. Sorry, 70,000 request. And now you are able to achieve the expected one, 90 KB. So here you all go on mute. Whenever you want, you can unmute it. So now you tell me, anyone, if I want to achieve this, the maximum, what is the capacity I should have? What is the capacity I should have?
It's 75. No.
Yes.
Around 73 or 75.
Yes, 75 CPU machine, 75 memory, GB memory should have. Okay, so now this is the basic calculation you start with. Now, as a technical person, say for example, you are going for your manager is or your interview, they are saying, okay, now how do you apply this in AWS? How do you apply this your Azure? How do you apply this in Google Cloud? Can anyone tell me? Now you got some basic calculation. Now, as per project or as per interview, you want to apply this efforts to a cloud. How do you?
We have some AWS calculator like Cost Explorer.
Yeah. No. Before going to that and all, how do you define? Means the end goal is only one thing. Your manager or your interview, they are asking, if I want to release this per hour 70,000 requests, then how many VMs you will create? How many VMs you will create? Will you create? Sorry for my bad English. So how many VMs will you create? So that is the end goal. So now you tell me.
So minimum requirement is 20 CPU and 20 gigabyte of memory, sir.
Okay.
So maximum 75 CPU and 75 GB of memory. So put
Okay.
into auto scaling. So price wise, check the resource price and multiply into the what are the VMs we are used. So that is the calculations.
Yeah. First of all, here we are all same. There is no junior, no senior in most of my calls. First of all, don't call sir. Even vice president, you call them as a name. Simple.
Okay,
So
sir. Okay,
you have some expertise. I have some expertise. So not that mean we are all great. Okay. So minimum, how much VMs you will create from this capacity? That is my question. I'm an interviewer. I'm your manager. So how much VM you will suggest?
If I'm looking at one CPU and one memory, I mean 1 GB memory as one VM, then I
Yeah.
would say 20 as a minimum VM and 75 as maximum VMs.
This is what exactly I want to hear from your people, because this is most wrong understanding with people, but it's a very simple one. Number of VMs. Okay, so here, if you okay, we will first remove this maximum. We will go one by one. So if you pick up one CPU machine, 1 GB memory, then you need a 20 VM you need to create. You all agree this? You all agree this, right?
Yes.
No,
So,
sir.
No, please. I don't really understand this.
okay.
I don't understand how you increase the VM. Please, can you explain more?
Okay. So first we will go this. Are you understand this, Helen?
Yes, I quite understand. Yeah, I understood
Okay.
the calculation, but then I don't know how you normally increase the VM from
No.
let's say from
Okay.
3 to 20 to 75. How do you know the number of VM? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will. This is why the interactive way of discussion is going to make more sense, rather than I will mute.
I think might be she's asking how you
Yes.
define 2020. Yeah.
So Helen, I am a tester. I'm a load testing team. So I am getting the requirement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a test cases. First, I will fire. Say I can open my. I'm just giving you an example. So I'm going to open up my test software. I'm going to fire Walmart.com. So which means one user fired, right, Helen? Now actually one user fired this. So that means one user given a load, correct, Helen?
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. I think Walmart website. It's Walmart.com. Okay, it's Walmart.com, or we can search it in Google. Why it's not loading it? Okay, Walmart.
Yeah, Vijay, it's just one L.
Yeah. So Helen, so now one person, one traffic is hitted, right? So there are a couple of tools you have, testing tools. Using the testing tools, you can fire virtually to this website. You can create 100 virtual requests. That means 100 requests will check this website. That means you can have 100 requests, right? Till 100 requests, first I'm taking one sample machine. That sample machine capacity is 1 CPU, 1 GB memory. Okay, so that machine is not crashed. The machine is doing good. The machine is up and running. But slowly you increase. These are all testing only. I'm just trying to understand how much capacity I need. So when I fire 201, that means 200 request is opening this website, right? Say for example, I'm just cloning it, duplicate. So this means 2 people, 2 requests is hitting. So when I fire 201 request, this machine is crashed. So what that means is this capacity, 1 CPU machine, 1 GB memory is capable to handle only 200 requests. Are you clear now?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut down this VM. I'm going to add one more CPU. I'm going to add one more GB memory, and I'm going to continue the testing. I'm going to using my tools. I'm showing you manually, but there are a lot of tools. I'm going to keep on increase my hit, which means now you are seeing 4 people is trying to access virtually. I'm going to create that simulation up to 430 request. So 430 request, this capacity is serving fine. So when I fire 431, this machine is getting crashed. So, go on mute. Go on mute. Go on mute. If you want to talk, unmute. So 431, if I fire, this machine is keep getting the crashed. That means I can note down in my notepad or Excel sheet or in my notes. This capacity for this website is capable to have 2 CPU and 2 GB memory. Are you clear, Helen?
Okay, so once the so when you increase it to 431 requests, the machine crashed. So does it mean that when the machine crashed, that
the
the
machine is
website
hanged or
crashed?
the website is not loading?
Okay.
Because if you think about this way, so whenever you have say one machine, this machine 1 GB memory. Okay, if this machine, if you keep on give a load, this machine CPU utilization goes around 90% or 99%. So this machine will not able to serve, or the machine will hang, correct? Sometimes your laptop also hanged, right? You cannot do anything. You need to just switch off and switch on, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So the same situation we are manually creating to understand how much capacity I need, correct?
Okay.
So that is the exact I'm explaining here. So again, you are keep on continuing. So you increased one more CPU, one more GB memory, and you are keep on continuing it. And you are seeing when you try to access 601 requests simultaneously, this machine, this capacity machine is getting crashed. So that means you need to record this up to 600 requests. This capacity is fine. Are you clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so this is how you need to, because this is an exercise, because your goal is to match. If I want to go, because my manager told me, my interview, they asked me 70,000 requests, the website or application size is 90 KB. How much VMs you will create? This is my question. I got from my manager or from my interview. So in that case, your responsibility to come up with some answer, right? So now we performed some small exercise and we got some output, which is really matching this. Now, come to actual exercise. Okay, so now we know minimum 20 CPU, minimum 20 GB memory required to serve 10,000 requests. Minimum 75 CPU, 75 GB you need to achieve this 70,000 request. Now, this 20 CPU, you go to AWS. I'm going to EC2. I will show you. I'll show you this. Go on mute. Go on mute. Go on mute. Go on mute. If you want to talk, you unmute.
Vijay Srianand here.
Yeah.
Vijay, I just got a basic doubt. Can I ask you now, or?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
That is why we are here.
Can you go back to the previous that Excel file?
Yes.
Okay. So 200 users. The first VM gets completed, and when the 200 first request comes, it has to go to the second VM. Correct?
No. See, you heard about the testing teams and all, right?
Yeah.
Manual testing, automated testing and all, right?
Yeah.
So those teams, what they are doing all this activity.
Okay.
So what they are doing is they are keep on increasing the request virtually. They are testing the performance, because
Correct.
the same situation you will get into here, actual production, right?
Yeah.
So as part of NFR, non-functional requirement, you need to provide the correct machine, correct capacity. Otherwise, the application will hang. Correct?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That is why
My question is, see, see, how do the end user or the system knows that the first VM is occupied with the 200 transaction, so it has to bifurcate to the second VM. So who will do that?
no. Okay. This testing will be done by testing team.
Okay.
But along with the testing team, if you ask me, I'm the person. Because I'm an infrastructure person. I am the server administrator. I am the cloud administrator. I will coordinate with the testing team whenever they said to me, Vijay, there is a machine hanged.
Okay.
So can you help me to shut down, or can you help me to increase one more CPU, one more GB memory? So I will increase it. I will tell them, okay, you continue your testing.
Sure.
So there will be a testing team, there will be a cloud administrator team, there will be a server administrator team. Everybody, they have to work together to perform this exercise.
Okay. So will they do something like once it hits the 85%, will they give a warning kind of thing, so that
yes,
everything
they will capture the
we
disk
have
IO
different
level.
tools actually.
Yeah, there are a lot of tools.
Load and registration tools.
Yeah, there are a lot of tools is available in the market. So you can use those tools. You have you heard about the Selenium, all those things, right? Similar tools will be there for testing team to capture all these results. But I'm giving you the better idea here in a layman point of view how this works.
Okay.
Are you clear?
Yeah. No, I could get this idea of it. Thank you very much for that. And the second question is that, see, the first VM is handling 200 transactions, but at some point, what happens is that 10 users or 20 users have completed the transaction, so that the load comes down in the first VM. So that in that case, will it be readjusted, or will the transaction go back to the first VM or something like that?
Yes. See, here we are not talking about which VM the traffic will go.
Okay.
We have only one VM. In that VM, we have this capacity.
Okay.
So the same VM we are increasing. So that means one machine, one CPU, 1 GB memory.
Okay.
The same one machine, we are increasing the capacity. Same one machine, we are increasing the capacity. Same one machine, we are increasing the capacity.
Okay, it's all under one machine. Okay, now I got it.
It's all under one machine to make sure. First, I need to know to handle this much of request, how much capacity I need. here only I'm going to explain you how much VM we are going to decide.
Super. Thanks, Vijay.
Okay. So now we know the minimum.
Vijay.
Yeah.
So how do you generate number of requests for you to
No,
come
that is
to
what
this?
there is a testing tools. Okay. Okay. There are load testing tools. If you search, I worked on a couple of tools like a load runner, but not recent days. Load testing tools. So there are a lot of tools. I'll tell you. I worked on a rational performance tester and even the load view. There are tools which you can simulate this. So using this tool, you can increase the values and test the capacity wise. Are you clear?
Yes.
Yeah. So basically, because this is important, right? If your manager or your exam or your interviewer ask some high level, you need to have this idea, right? This is one of the major questions nowadays. Most of the people, they are struggling. How I can get, because cloud, you must know this basic understanding.
Vijay, Ravi here, one small question.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, one thing is like if once you are testing, in case like you have taken example of one CPU and one memory, maybe the CPU is 50% used and memory is 90% used. So that also we will take into
Yes, yes.
consideration, right?
So, see, the testing team, they will produce the report. That report is almost some 200 to 300 pages. So they will capture everything. All I'm doing is I'm trying to get you some good understanding on how you decide number of VMs, how you decide number of VMs maximum.
And one more thing, once that the testing team will take this, take all the detail. So we take the 80% of the capacity we take into consideration, or total 100% or 90% somewhere.
Normally, yeah, it's a very good question. Normally, they will take into consideration above 80% because every project, every business, there will be a threshold, agreed threshold.
Okay.
So if you ask me, I would recommend normally 80%.
Okay.
But this testing, you need to wait till crash, till hang, because that is the worst case scenario you are getting it, so that you will be your decision will be more accurate.
Okay, thank you, Vijaya. That's what was my query.
Okay. So now, yeah, go ahead.
This 90 KB, who is defining that? It's if there
No,
is
it's an application. So application team or application developer, please go on mute. Those who are not talking, please go on mute. So the application team or application developer or who developing this web application. So they are the one who will give this.
Okay. Suppose there might be changes in the web pages or upgraded.
No, each and every version release, each and every changes, you need to go through all this testing everything.
Okay.
Before you proceed into the live.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm repeating, I am trying to make sure you are having good understanding whenever you get into any situation. Your manager is because these days manager is asking, or our senior SME is asking us to create number of VMs. So hereafter you immediately ask them on what basis you decided the number of VMs. So you can very well ask. So for that only I'm giving you a good clarity from layman point of view.
Okay.
Vijay, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Like here, we have taken minimum traffic and maximum peak traffic.
Yes.
Based on the utilization pattern. So what if it is a new application, and how will the application owner gives that value?
Which one? Which
minimum
value?
traffic and maximum peak traffic.
Okay. This is also one of the important question. Hope you understand Bonu question. So who will give this? Right? Minimum traffic, maximum traffic. Okay, there are two scenarios, Banu. One is the existing application means, as some of the people, Srini, everybody suggested, you need to take the last 6 months utilization report. Okay, and in that utilization report, you need to derive in one time between 10 a.m. to between 11 a.m. you seen 70,000 maximum people, worst case, or some maximum people. So what is the maximum you seen from the utilization report? You take this. So existing application, you will have the monitoring report, utilization report, or some form of report past 6 months. But when comes into new application, definitely there will be a architect. They has to decide based on this all testing. They will go for a lot of regression testing, everything. So based on that, they will decide. Banu,
okay,
are you
Vijay.
clear? Banu?
Yeah. Yes, Vijay, I'm clear.
Okay. So now, again, we know minimum 20 CPU, minimum 20 GB memory we require, maximum 75 CPU, 75 GB memory require, right? So now my question is, how you decide number of VMs? I'm asking you to create a VMs. So are you going to create a 20 VMs with each VM 1 CPU, 1 GB memory? Or how you will? That is what I'm going to explain it now. Helen, Helen, are you clear? Helen?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay. So now I'm going here. I'm going for an instance. I'm going for. So now I'm a layman. I don't know anything, right? So I'm clicking the launch instance, right? So now go on mute. Everybody go on mute. When you want to talk, unmute it. So please go on mute. Okay, so I am selecting my image. You can select any image. It's up to you. But here is the actual scenario. I am going to select one CPU, 1 GB memory. In that case, how much I need? I need 75 VMs. So 75 VMs I need. You agree? If I select one CPU, 1 GB memory, in that case, I need 75 VMs. You all agree, right?
No, Vijay, how do you come with 75? No, sorry. Hey, Vijay, do you hear me? Hi, Vijay. Sorry, I can't hear you.
Vijay is on mute. Just wait. No, let us check.
Sorry. I was on mute. Yeah, can you repeat your question?
Sorry, so I'm just trying to figure out how you came up with 75 VM. You know, where do you get the number 75 or 20 VM? Sorry.
Yeah. I just put 75. So
Okay,
I checked how people are sleeping or okay. So 20 VMs, right? So you will create a 20 VM.
So 20 VM, do you come up with that from calculation or we just assume that?
No. Here we came up with the advisory. Here, based on our testing, we came to know we need 20 VM and okay. So what is the minimum capacity we need to achieve to serve this 10,000 request?
Yeah, we have 20 CPU and 20 memory.
Okay. So here, how much capacity you are selecting? 1 CPU, 1 GB memory, right?
Yeah.
So in that case, you need a 20 CPU, 20 GB memory, right?
Why though? By our calculation, by this thing, I think we selected one. If you go back to the Excel, I thought it's one CPU, one memory. Yeah, then Where is the
Yeah, but
GPU?
you are creating 20 VMs. That means you are matching this, right? 20 into 1, 20 CPU. 20 into 1, 20 GB memory, right?
Oh, okay. Okay.
You are getting the point.
Not really.
Okay, so I'm selecting 1 CPU, 1 GB memory. Here, I'm going to say I need 20. In that case,
Oh, okay.
are
20
you?
of, oh, okay.
Yeah. So,
20
so now you are clear.
instances. Like 20
Yeah.
instances, huh? Okay.
Yes. So
Okay,
that means
okay.
20 VMs. So that means
Oh, okay. Yeah,
you
yeah.
have 1 VM, 2 VM, 3 VM, 4 VM, 5 VM,
Oh,
like this, 20 VM. Are you clear now?
yeah, thank you.
Okay. So 1 CPU, 1 CPU, 1 CPU, like this. If you create a 20 VM, are you achieving 20 CPU expectation? Is that correct or not?
Yes, sir, we are achieving, yeah.
Yes. So now you are all with me. So now I'm going to ask one simple logic. Instead of selecting 1 CPU, 1 GB memory, now I'm going to select this one. Now, in that case, how much VMs you need? So 2 CPU, 4 GB memory. I'm going to say 2 CPU, 4 GB memory. In that case, how much VM you need? This is the
10.
exact confusion people
10.
are having. Yes. Are you clear, Helen? And other people?
Yeah, I'm clear.
Yes.
Yes. So if I go with here, the session is going to be like this, everyone. So I'm going to select.
So how did you get I'm sorry.
Sorry?
How did you come up with number 10 VMs?
Yeah, we need to check the only vCPUs.
No, mostly the vCPU, or you just make sure the nearby values. So if I go with say 4 CPU, then how much VM you need? Basically, I'm trying to give you a
5 VMs.
rough
5
VMs.
5.
So how much VM you need?
5.
Yeah.
5.
So now I'm going with the maximum now, so that you are going to tell me how much. If I go with 1 CPU, 1 GB memory, then how much VM you create?
75.
75.
Okay.
75.
If I go with 4 CPU, 16 GB, you all go on mute. When you want to talk, you unmute. So if you go with this capacity, how much VM you need?
25.
Nearly to 18 or 19.
19.
19 or nearby 18 to 20 approximately.
19.
18 to 19.
So now you tell me, okay, people are here talking about keep on auto scaling. Now for auto scaling, what exactly you need? For auto scaling, what exactly you need? I'm going auto scaling, right? I'm going.
So it will create an auto scaling group.
Yes. So while creating an auto scaling group, what exactly you need?
Minimum instance.
Your desired instances,
Yeah.
the minimum and the
Yes.
maximum.
Minimum 4,
So
maximum 19.
now, if you do this exercise, you have minimum and maximum, right? Are you now getting the exact picture where I am taking you all? So
Yes,
I'm
sir.
going to say
Vijay,
testing.
sorry to
Yes, sir.
interrupt. Vijay,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sunita here. Sorry to interrupt. I didn't understand how we got that 19 there. I'm sorry.
No, okay. No. Here we are here to discuss. Okay. See, how much you need? 75, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to open up a calculator. So you need to arrive the approximate nearing that point.
See, because when
So
we are saying
no, wait. So
sorry.
75 divided how much CPU? 4.
4.
So you are nearing around 18.75, right? So that is why I
Okay.
said from 18 to 20, anything you can select.
Okay, fine. Sorry,
Okay,
thanks. Go ahead.
basically you are trying to achieve this total capacity either via 4 CPU capacity means you need 18 VMs. If you go with a 10 CPU, I think 7 to 7.2 VMs. You cannot divide one VM, but so you can either go to 8 VM.
The nearest
that would be great.
whole number.
Yeah, the
Okay,
nearest
fine.
value. But
Okay, fine. Thanks.
to decide that, you need to have this understanding very clear. Otherwise, it will be a huge issues.
Yeah, I got that. Yeah, thank you so much, Vijay. I just had this confusion. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so I'm going to create a.
Before that, so 75 GB, how much memory how could be arrived? Because 1990.
No. People, I am just giving an example here. So exact,
Okay.
maybe in your production, you will get some 75 and say 4 terabyte memory requirement during this testing. So, but I want to make you all to understand how this works. Even the load testing also need the disk IO, but I don't want to make more confusion. So I'm just at starting point. You need to understand this. So you can even extend network IO, everything. So according to nearest value, you come up with this.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah. So here I am creating my AutoScaling group. Okay. I don't have any template. So I'm creating a launch templates. So I'm just creating a launch template so that we can arrive this so that everyone will. So I'm going to say my web servers and template version I don't have. So add tag and all, it's okay. So source template, I don't have any source template. So I'm going to say which one, AWS image. If you have any custom image, you can select it. And instance type. So I'm selecting one CPU T2 micro, one CPU, 1 GB memory. So please understand the capacity is one CPU, 1 GB memory. So even you can mention it in here. Web server, one CPU, 1 GB memory. Sorry, CPU. Come down. So rest of the things are going to be the same. So come down. So create launch template. So now I'm coming here, refresh it. So if I select this, please remember one CPU, 1 GB memory, I'm creating AutoScaling group. In that case, next, I can select all availability zones. So come down, next. So now you need to attach it to any load balancer, or I'm just going with as it is. So now this is the actual game. Now, how you will decide? This is what I asked so many people in the interview, and they are not able to answer. So they are saying I will get the information from my SME, or I will get the information from my architect. Then that shows you are not having good understanding on the knowledge. So to decide this, here you need to say 20, and maximum is 75. And desired also should be more or less equivalent to minimum capacity, what is required minimum. So if you put 20 and 75, you are really understand the concept. Now you need to have one more understanding. Remember, you have selected the template 1 CPU, 1 GB memory. Suppose if you selected 4 CPU, 16 GB memory, this capacity, what will be the desired one? Sorry, what will be your minimum one? What will be the maximum one? Can
5
anyone
and
tell me?
19. Minimum
5,
5, maximum 19.
Now you all understand why I explained all this. So this is the way you need to keep play around the technology. It's not something. Sorry, 19. So this is how you need to learn. It's not something auto-scaling, next. Auto-scaling will increase. No. Each and every parameter, you need to start ask why, how, when. That's it. You are passed. Not in exam, your actual technology. Okay. So how many of you don't understand? Tell me. I'm happy to explain again.
Vijay, I feel a little confused about the last part of it.
Okay. Is everyone understand this basic example?
Vijay?
Yes, yes.
Vijay, we are not considering the memory size, just only CPU, right? That's our focus.
No, if you go with a custom based offering, then you can have a custom thing. So you can key in the exact requirement. But this is how first you need to understand the requirement based on the load testing. First, you need to define how much I need. First part. Once this is over, then come to your cloud, maybe your private cloud or public cloud or on-prem. Then you start decide the nearest values, but not less than that.
Yeah, Vijay, small question here.
Yeah.
So what is the difference between desired and the minimum? I think both are same, right?
Both are same, but what I'm saying is minimum capacity to start with. But the application always need what is minimum. Most of the time, it's going to be minimum and desired is going to be the same. So
Yeah, okay.
desired means always you need to have that capacity always up and running. That's it. So minimum to start with. So normally, if you say 35% of your minimum and actual requirement is going to be your desired and maximum. So most of the advice keep minimum and desired is same.
Yeah, got it. Thanks.
So how many? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, does the memory, how will you choose the memory of the CPU? So here you didn't mention about that.
Which
because
one?
Memory of the CPU. So you have chosen it as 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, for 4 machines.
Yeah.
How did you choose that 16?
No.
It comes along with the instance types of the AWS.
So it's a comes with along with the instance type. Okay, let me go here. There are other parameters also you need to consider. Okay, let me go here because sizing is a ocean. So you need to first start with the basic. So I'm going for a launch instance. I'm selecting some OS. It's fine, but okay, so here there are a lot of type of instance, right? So first you need to at least you know the approximate one, how much you need, right? So based on that, you go and select. So while selecting, definitely you cannot go with the actual one because this is how the cloud providers defined, right? So normally you stick with the nearest CPU value and the nearest the memory value, right? So even you select this, you need to also have one more calculation we will discuss very shortly. So you cannot, even if you have a on-prem or VMware in your data center, then it is accurate you can mention because the definition of the resources, it's completely your control. But here it's a public cloud. They have created this offering. So you cannot ask, okay, I need a 2 CPU and 0.5 GB RAM. No, this is how they given. So you need to pick up the nearest advisable one from your calculation.
Yeah, fine. Thank you.
Yeah.
Vijay, one more.
Yeah, go ahead.
You
Go ahead.
have here we have type as nano, small, large, medium. So
Okay.
how are we supposed to know what the CPU
No,
and memory part is?
Wait. I'm going one by one.
Okay.
Are you not clear? this whatever we discussed? How
clear,
you
Vijay.
can decide number of VMs, if anyone asks. So
Clear,
okay,
sir.
okay. So now I'm going to talk about the actual one, what people are started asking. Okay, so let's give some time. I'm going with that. Yeah, yeah. So I hope everyone is seeing my screen, right? EC2 instance type.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now you need to ask. So there are a lot of types, T2 micro, M3 and all. So first of all, the Walmart.com. Okay, what kind of application it is? Is it a disk-based application or memory-based application or some kind of a network-based application? You need to discuss with the application people, application team, because they have to know. They already know because they are the persons who developed the application, right? So this is the general guidelines. So if your application is storage-based application, depends on the traffic, depends on the transaction, it is going to access more storage IO, say some data reference-based application, then it's recommended to go with a D3. And if your application is going to more data related, rendering related, right? Then G2. And if your application is going to transact a lot of transaction on the fly in the memory, then G2 type. So now we will go back to this console. Now you are understanding, right? If your application is storage based, so I'm going with the G2. Where is G2? See here. So G2 2x large, 8 CPU and 15 GB memory. So if your application is fall under this, then you need a 3 VMs. Is everyone agree? Because you need a minimum 20, right? Is Helen, everybody, you all agree this?
Yes.
Yeah. So if your application is graphic optimized, so or your application is more storage optimized, I2. Okay, we will go with the storage. I'm assuming my application is storage optimized, so D3. So in that case, I'm going with where is D3. So you need to select in this. So while selecting, what is my minimum? 20 CPU. So if I go with this, at least I can achieve exactly 5 VMs. Is it correct?
Yes, 5 VM.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So there are a couple of things you need to first calculate layman language how much you require. Then you ask yourself what kind of application. Then you ask yourself what kind of a network. Then you ask yourself. So you ask a lot of questions and try to find out that is the exact you are going to match with the right instance, right capacity. Is everyone clear? So I hope
Yes.
hereafter you can answer in any exam, any interview with your confidence. This is the layman example. I can give it to people.
So
And
Vijay, if you are not sure of your application, what it does, is it always to start with general purpose?
maybe you are saying some new application or you are not sure what kind of so definitely the developer, application developer should aware during their testing, because the developer will test everything. So while testing itself or while developing itself, the developer should have the functionality wise, whether I'm going to develop a memory based logic or disk oriented application or the CPU based intensive application. So the developer should have this clarity. If you are not developer, then you should very clear to the developer. Without that, I cannot take any risk. You be clear on this.
Okay.
Because sometimes what will happen is the developer will not share much information, right? So at the end of the day, sorry. So someone is asked. Okay, so the another idea here is whatever start with C means whatever start with C. So if you go and see C1, C3, C4, C5, whatever start with C, it is capable to have the compute. Whatever start with the D, it's a density. So this is how you need to match it with. Whatever start with the G for graphics, most of the data simulation, everything, you can very well go with G. Okay, and whatever start with I, disk-based application, I for IOPS. So you can go and select I. Where is I? Yeah, I2, I3, I3 gen. So you can fit it in any of this. So whatever start with M, okay. If you are really not sure what kind of application it is, just for testing purpose, then go with either T or M. But T is more cheap than M. And if your application is a banking application, kind of a memory intensive, then go with R. So you can go and select R. So I can select R3, R4. So you can select this. There is a benchmarks. We will discuss about benchmarks tomorrow. So this is how you need to start your AWS or cloud journey in depth. This is very basic. It's not so difficult. Only thing is you need to know how to apply the logics. That's it. Is everyone clear now? Arti, Helen, and Srini?
Yeah, yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, Vijay.
Okay, good. Hope I'm not boring everyone.
No.
Okay. And the pricing part. Okay. So how do we decide the pricing part, right? So there are a couple of parameters: on-demand instance, reserved instance, spot instance, and dedicated instance. Okay, I'm going to ask one simple question to everyone. I am a layman. I don't know anything, right? So your manager is asking, my manager is asking, hey, can you create 100 VMs? Okay, then what I need to answer to my manager? Sorry for my handwriting. My handwriting normally it's not good. So what I
we need to ask
respond to
type of instances.
Before ask type of instance,
What is
you
the
will ask to your manager?
What is the purpose?
Exactly. What is purpose means? Can you give me example?
What is the CPU and memory size? And what is the requirement?
See, normally don't go too technical. Try to get some good clarity before going to deep technical.
Vijay, Srianand here. Will that be based upon the last 6 months? How much transactions are happening and other things, so that we decide.
Very simple.
First of all, what is the purpose and how long the project is used for in that machine?
Exactly. So go on mute. Everyone go on mute. So first question you need to ask is, okay, you are asking me to create 100 VMs. I am a layman. I don't know anything. So can you give me a clarity on these questions? First question is, can you tell me in this 100, go on mute. So in this 100 question, how many machines are going to be a production machine? Go on mute. I think still there is a lot of echo. So how many machines are going to be a production machine? How many machines are going to be a development machine? How many machines are going to be a testing machine? Okay, so these kind of questions you need to ask. And the further questions what you need to ask is, okay, in this machine, how long you are going to keep it? As you said, someone said, how long you need this. Of course, production you need all time, and development maybe next to 3 months, not more than that. And there is a backup servers, monitoring servers. So monitoring servers also need to be there across 24/7. But backup servers, again, you need to ask, okay, daily backup, weekly backup, monthly backup. So daily backup means only say your backup window is early morning 1 o'clock. So that means the server should be up and running only at least best 12 a.m. because your backup is starting 1 o'clock. Even 12:30 also is fine. Weekly backup every Saturday. So that means during that window before 1 hour, the server is up and running means it's okay. And monthly backup, the same logic. And even there could be a couple of servers or patching servers. There could be a couple of servers or penetration servers. So these are all only available when needed. That is more than enough. This is the first clarification you need to make it with your manager. Are you clear in this?
Yeah.
Okay, now your manager said, I'm a layman, I don't know anything. So your manager said production servers. Your manager also said 24/7, this service has to be up and running. So where you will fit in this offering? Either on-demand instance or reserved instance or Spot instance or dedicated host.
Production servers, production servers are put into reserved instance.
Yeah.
On-demand dev test or keep in the on-demand instance.
Okay. Then what about Spot instance?
If the application is not critical, so we can choose for Spot instance.
If the application is not critical, also if the application related, say for example, you want to do some testing, the testing also not critical, saying that say before tomorrow evening I have to complete this. Those kind of non-critical, those kind of not critical expectation, you very well go with the Spot instance. Okay. Yes. So so even the on-demand instance or dedicated host, say for example, you have some application which is really very sensitive, very secure. In that case, you ask the dedicated racks and you can host it. This also you can save huge money. This also you can save huge money. On-demand instance means I want to do something now, immediately. So you can go with, but you are wasting a lot of money here. So this is how first you go to any project or any interview or any exam, you need to first ask all these questions now. So that from these questions, whatever answer you are getting, at least a wrong answer, let it be. But this is how you need to start map your answers to this offering. This is the way I learn. Hope everyone is getting, but we need to discuss a lot. But at least you got some idea.
Reserved, what is the difference?
Yeah, I'm going to explain with the AWS console. But to start with, you understand this. What kind of questions you need to ask to your manager or interview or your project?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Vijay.
Okay. So now I'm going to next screen. So on-demand instance. So I don't want to. I'm slowly going direct to the hands-on. So slowly theory is moving away. So now I'm going to actual AWS console. Okay. So there are a couple of Spot request and reserved instance and dedicated host. We'll go one by one. First, we will go the Spot request and saving plans and reserved instance. So I'm going for a reserved instance here. So now I am going to reserve something. So let's see what is the actual one. So now my question is, I'm going to ask one question. You are going to answer me because I don't know anything. So now my scenario is like this. I want 100 servers. Okay, this is for production because I already got the classification from my manager. So this production 100 servers, okay, first scenario, I want 2 years, minimum 2 years, this server should be up and running, right? In that case, what you will select here. So let it be any OS or let it be any, will you choose default or dedicated? Any idea?
Default. Default. Dedicated is more expensive, sir.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Dedicated means more cost, but so you can, if you have any budget constraint, so better you go with the dedicated hosts. Okay. So I'm just going to default.
Vijay Sri Anand here.
Yeah, go ahead.
Vijay, my thought is, say if it's going to be so critical like banking applications and other things, then we have to discuss with the customer and opt for dedicated. Otherwise, you can go for a default.
Yes, yes. So here there is a dedicated racks. So this is completely physical rack which will be assigned to you. This is the actual scenario. But here they will provide you a capacity with a dedicated allocated to you. Okay, if you have any critical customer, critical need, critical deliverable, then better you opt for the dedicated one. Okay, and offering class, what does it mean? Convertible and standard. Any idea? What is mean convertible?
We can
and
change
standard?
anytime if it is
Later you can
convertible.
change the CPU or memory capacity. Convertible. Is it right?
Yes. Yes, yes. So
like we can
I'm
migrate in future if you want to move to on-demand to dedicated or vice versa.
Yes. So here I'm just going to give a simple example. Let me go here. Okay. So convertible means I will go one simple table. So I'm just see here. So today you are going with this one. Your capacity almost testing is over. But tomorrow you are also going with the same capacity, but for a different requirement with just now we seen, right? 20 VMs, maximum 75, right? So this is for 3 months. After 3 months, there is a one more requirement. You need to build the environment, but from the same capacity. But this time you need to have 10 VM, maximum 80 VM. So you can alter any point of time if you go with the convertible, right? So better you first decide now itself whether you want a convertible in future or a standard. This is a very, very crucial one. Okay. And of course, the instance type, just now we discussed. How do we arrive the capacity? And term, you need to decide whether you want a 1 year contract or completely 3 year, because you will save a lot of money. If you are sure you are going to keep these servers for long term, then I would prefer to go with this. Okay. And payment option. If you, what is this? Can anyone have any idea? No upfront, partial upfront, all upfront.
So
What
giving like
I will get.
advance.
So what I will get as a business point of view, what I will get.
If you pay upfront, you will get more discount.
Yes. So if you go with the upfront one, you will get more discounts. That is why you remember now why I asked you to ask all the questions whenever you get any requirement like this from your manager or interview. You remember why we need to classify the type of server. I mean the role of the servers. Okay, 100 servers we are going to create. In that 100 servers, how many servers we are going to keep as a production role? How many servers we are going to as a daily backup, or once in a while only we need those server. So this is really, really mandatory to get on all this decision. Is everyone clear why I explained that? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Now I have another layman question. Basically, I don't know anything, but what I'm going to do is my manager is asking to me that, okay, I want 100 servers, but those servers, 50 servers. So, okay, we will go with the 25 servers. 25 servers. Okay. This 25 servers, I'm going to store some data which is related to some Nigeria or Africa related information. This information I should not store it in anywhere. I should store only within African region. So this servers, I have to store some Europe related data. This Europe related data, I need to store within Europe only, not outside Europe, because it's a citizen confidential information. So the next 25 servers, I need to keep it inside only within US, not outside US. Okay, because I'm going to store some confidential data about US citizens, right? So in that case, how do you go and reserve your capacity? See here, there is a catchy. You also, while reserving your capacity, you also need to reserve some location based. So where you will go and enable that option.
So capacity reservations.
So
There's a
any other input?
So however, at the top, we are selecting the region where we would like to.
Dedicated host.
Only show offering, that option is there, no?
Where?
Only show offerings that
Yes.
reserve.
Yes. See, if you closely observe my screen, I'm not seeing any region-based options here, right? I mean the region.
Yeah,
region
can
means
select that region.
yeah. Already we are in the North Virginia region, but in that North Virginia, I'm not getting any particular location-wise, right? So if you enable this option in North Virginia, can you see this? Can you see this? Yes. So if I disable this, I'm not getting any location based. So in that region, North Virginia region, if you have any requirement that I should store my data only in Washington, I should store only my data in a specific location. So in that case, the reservation is going to be very complex in terms of the decision, not implementation. So you need to ask all these questions before you go and proceed. The proceed implementation is going to be maximum 2 to 3 minutes, but the decision making, it's going to take a lot of time. So I am going to enable this. See here. So you need to go and decide like this, which availability zone you need to have this one, and tenancy the same, and payment option is the same. But only thing is, see here, everything is same. But when you disable this, you will get only 6 options. When you enable this, you will get one more additional option called availability zone. Is everyone clear?
Yeah, but then it's only availability zone. That's what we get. That doesn't determine the region, right?
Yeah, no. Okay, let me go here. So if you decide the location here, so North Virginia, so go to that region and reserve this capacity. If you decide some Africa, then go to that region, reserve this capacity. If you decide some Canada, go to that region, reserve that capacity.
Okay.
And using the Route 53, we will see. Using the Route 53, you connect all this according to your common domain name. So you can define the rule. We will see it tomorrow. So you can mention if any traffic comes from Africa region, automatically the traffic should go to here. If any traffic comes from, go on mute. So if any traffic comes from North Virginia, by default, the traffic should start from these missions. If any traffic comes from Canada, by default. So you can control all this with the combination of CloudFront and Route 53. We will see it tomorrow session. So now you understand, right? So this is how your decision making and reservation all should happen.
Yeah, Vijay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Vijay, like if we forget to tick that show only offering, we don't get to do get the select availability zone before we reserve. What is the consequence of that?
Okay, if you select any, right, then you will have a freedom, but still I would suggest, because there will be a lot of consequences when it comes into audits, especially on the GDPR or data related, then definitely it's going to be a bigger escalations. But what I'm saying is, better before you proceed such a sensitive decisions, you first draft the plan, you create a mind map, and you can very well engage the AWS support. They will help you, even the Azure, even the Google Cloud. They have a lot of free help, and even if you say I'm going to give a business, they will come to you and they will validate everything, and they will make sure there's no future surprise. But before approaching them, you need to have some groundwork. That is why I'm making you to understand all these points.
Yeah, thank you so much. You really helped.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. So now we are going to. Yeah, go ahead.
Can you say about that offering class once again?
Which one? Offering class.
Yeah.
Okay. Offering class. Say for example, I am selecting T3 Micro. Okay. And T3 Micro. Say we will go with the T2 Micro, because everyone remember that capacity. So T2 Micro, 1 CPU, 1 GB memory, right? So you are reserving some say 200 CPU for T2 Micro with the convertible. So, but once your testing is over, or once your requirement is over, you have to use this capacity for new project. In that case, that project having a different set of minimum and maximum, right? In that case, if you reserve with convertible, even you can go with the alteration. Okay. But if you reserve go with the other one, it's really difficult. You understand?
Yes.
So here, normalization factor. See here. Say for example, if I reserve with a T2 Micro or T2 Micro or T2 small, right? So 20. But later you want to upgrade or alter within that capacity. You cannot go beyond that capacity, but within that capacity you want to alter, then it's possible. But it's not possible if you go with the other option.
What is mean by any and standard, sir?
Which one?
If you go to AWS console.
Any means because you don't know. So you can better go with the any. But I would suggest the more you go and select, more you get the offering on the correct options, you will get more consumptions. I mean the cost wise.
So what is standard in that, Ajay?
Standard means you are going with you are saying whatever I am declaring and reserve, it's not going to be changed. So that is why first you decide all this with some small mind map and engage with the your via architect, or there is a AWS people also, or Azure people also. They can very well help on this to arrive some good agreement.
Okay, so always choosing convertible can be a better option, right? Or
No, it depends what you are going to do with this. If it is a production, I'm sure it's not going to be altered most of the time. Okay. So now
this option also considered to be a cost perspective.
Yes. That is why you need to first split the server roles. Then you split how long you need. Then you split what region you need. Then you split in that region what location you need. Then you split. So all this split you need to do before come to aws.amazon.com console. Okay. Now I'm going for the dedicated host. Can anyone tell me why I need dedicated host in what scenarios? I'm going to attend the interview. I'm going to handle some projects. So what scenario as a technical person or as a fresher or as a junior or as a senior person, you need this?
So
There
dedicated
will
in the
be
sense reserving server completely for our environment. So if any like a hardware upgrade from AWS side perform also, it should not get affected. Like we have to mention like 2-3 servers. It should be always live like that. Is that?
But you can achieve that same in a reserved instance also, right?
In
When we want high
maybe
latency security.
Yeah,
there
there is a one
there
important point.
yeah, there will be some scenario where the licensing the matters.
Exactly. So whenever you get onto some situation hereafter, okay, the main point is if you afraid some kind of a shared hosting and you need a dedicated, okay, due to sorry, I think I need to delete this. Okay, so if you look at some dedicated due to your you don't want to go, your application is very sensitive, so you need to offer some dedicated hardware, because whatever you are storing, you are going to be confident that it is not going to share this, even storage, even network. So that case is dedicated. And if you are really sensitive on the security part, dedicated. What are all other parts? I think I heard some more good one.
High latency.
band can be more in dedicated so that it is not shared.
Okay, no, there is another what is that? High latency,
High
right?
latency, yeah.
Yes. So what is the other parameter?
And
Can
you
consider
the government's entity.
Yeah,
yes,
compliance.
Compliance, yes, exactly. So you can achieve everything in the reserved instance itself, but if you are going to be very sensitive on these similar parameters, then better go and spend time on dedicated. Here also you will get a lot of cost offering. Okay, so you can go and reserve one entire rack. They will give you an entire rack and you do whatever you want in that rack. So this rack is going to allocate it to you. So in this rack, you play what you want. They don't care. The reserved
So you
instance
can get
means
control.
they will allocate one capacity from the existing rack. So in this rack, the other VMs are used by different people, right? But this dedicated means the entire rack will be allocated to you. Yeah, go ahead. There is some people want to ask.
Yes,
So
VJ,
you
I have
can
a
get
question.
more control over that instances.
Sorry?
You can get more control over that instances.
Yes.
So how
Yeah,
about the
there is a person,
availability?
Isaac.
If the rack
Yes,
goes
VJ.
down, how about the availability, the fault tolerance and the
Yeah. You can plan accordingly in that itself during the discussion with the AWS team. So they will ensure all this point. Already they have even in Azure. We will see the availability and the updated domain and fault domain, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, the similar functionality AWS also is have backend.
Okay, Vijay, you mentioned about dedicated rack, right? It's a rack or a server dedicated to it.
So the dedicated, let me show you. If I go to dedicated, I'm going to allocate dedicated host. Okay, you can have say I want to have C6i family, and you can also select this, and you can select the availability zone, and you can have how much. So the number of dedicated host you need to purchase. But once you create the offering, so you should, before you select this, better you sit with the AWS. Definitely they will come up with the one account manager for you. So you tell your requirement so that there will be a custom provisioning also from their part. But before going to that, you need to be sure what exactly you are asking. Dedicated host and reserved instance, both are completely different. So you can achieve via reserved instance as well as you can achieve via dedicated host. But you need to understand the similarity between these two.
So
Okay,
in some
VJ.
cases, we are
Yeah,
discussing whether we can change dedicated to reserved type. Do we have option or once
sorry?
after some 2 to 3 years, we feel that we want to move to reserved type. So whether we can move from dedicated to reserved
Yeah,
type.
see, these are all going to be at some point, like 1 year or 24 months. So accordingly, you need to keep engaged. Even you will get frequent advice from their backend team. So even if you feel you want to change something, see, these are all offered by AWS to the common offerings. But if you really want have some custom agreements, you have to sit with them and explain, because you are going to give the business to them, right?
Yes, yes.
But before going to them, you need to have basic calculation. Otherwise, during the discussion, these are all you have to project, which it will be a waste of time for them.
Okay.
Oh, VJ, question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, on Amazon, they have a dedicated design host for sensitive data, regulated workloads, and most of US stringent government security compliance. So in that wise, are they using dedicated host or something they call Amazon Gov Cloud? I want to see different.
Which one? Which one?
They are. Is there a dedicated instance, a dedicated host? Is that what they use for Amazon Gov Cloud?
Yes, yes. So if you look at this, so basically I can go here, see here. So there are a couple of offerings. They are also having dedicated with VMware. So if you really look for the specific environment with VMware, with the all compliance, with there is no shared infrastructure, you can also have this offering from AWS. So the one which we are discussing is you are getting some rack and you are going to create all what you want. They even give you the rack, the backend, the console, everything.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Isaac, so you need to get the differentiate between the offering, like when I need a reserved instance, when I need dedicated, when I need Spot, so that is where I'm trying to make you all understand.
Vijay, I think this dedicated host one used when there is a it is bound bound to the license is bound to the particular the
Yes,
processor
yes.
and
The
all.
one more bigger thing which we are not discussing is yeah, you are correct. So sometimes your application license is bound to specific hardware, right? So that kind of a situation, there is no other option. So you have to opt for the dedicated one. So those scenarios also, this will be really useful. Yeah, you are correct, because some of the, because nowadays most of the customer, they are simply lift and shift movement towards cloud. Is that correct? Because they don't have a time to re-architect towards cloud native application. So they have to first move everything to the cloud. Then they are planning to decide slowly. So in that case, they can go this offering straight away.
Yeah, Vijay.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
if I create a dedicated host, can I be able to increase the CPU?
Your voice is very low. Can you speak bit loud?
Yeah, Vijay, can you hear me? Right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, after creating the dedicated host,
No. Anyone hearing his voice? It's your voice is not feeble. That's why I
It's
said,
breaking.
please, yeah, please don't join from mobile or less internet bandwidth. We are not able to hear you. Okay, so we'll proceed. So I'm going to back to the EC2 part. So there is a go on mute. So I'm going for a spot request. So now the same question: what kind of a situation you need spot instance? Any answer? Isaac.
Yes, for testing environment.
Yeah. Apart from testing environment, Srinath. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Any
I
temporary
unmuted
environment.
everyone.
Yeah, any
So
temporary. So
only during.
if you want to use for temporary time.
Okay. Any other purpose you can go for spot
Server
request?
server is
Okay,
needed
so
backup scheduling, so that time alone it can be.
When you go for non-critical project to saving the cost, so then you opt for spots instance.
yeah,
Yes.
application
So
that can
basically,
tolerate
you have some tasks. Yeah, you have some tasks, but the task is really you don't have any expectation. Say, next 2 hours I have to complete this task. But I can complete the task, but today or tomorrow, those kind of non-critical task. Go on mute. Go on mute. So non-critical task.
Vijay Srianand here. In the layman's term, can that be thought of like a rough note kind of thing?
No. This is also one of the critical, but spot instance, the logic people has to understand. Go on mute. I will explain. Everyone go on mute. So I'm going to explain the spot instance. So it's kind of a bidding, gambling. Okay, so we will save a lot of cost. Even the providers also getting more benefits. Why? Because say for example, they have Amazon or Azure, everybody, they are into the same race. So they are having some 400 CPU, say for example, 400 CPU and say 4000 or 4 terabyte memory, 40 terabyte memory, right? So in this capacity already people are utilized 200 for their day-to-day purpose or reserved purpose or dedicated host purpose, everything. So still 200 CPU is it's ideal. So I'm asking Srinath, everyone, if I don't put any offer or if I don't attract customer, it's going to be a waste of time, right? For me, from my investment point of view, correct?
Correct,
Correct or
not? Yeah.
So
I agree.
anyway, I'm instead of wasting this. So if I get some say even $10, is it going to be my revenue also, right? Right?
Yes.
Sulaiman, everybody. So in that case, what I'm doing is I'm putting some bid. So you bid for your non-critical workloads, right? You bid it. So when you bid it, if you get, normally they are offering 1 CPU for $1. But in this bidding, if you get the same for 0.25, which is going to be a real advantage, right? Because you are saving 0.75 upfront, correct?
Yes, sir.
Correct or not? So
yes.
This is how the spot instance offering works. So the spot instance always it's a kind of a you have to go and bid and you have to go and request, right? So go to request spot instance and you can select all your requirement and target capacity and the relevant one, and how much vCPUs maximum, how much memory you need for your requirement, and reserve it. So if you go in this part, automatically you can get the information with very less price. But this way, don't go with your critical workloads. Is Sulaiman, everyone, you all understand, right? Isaac, everybody.
But there is no assurity how long it is going to be alive now, sir.
No, that is why you are going in this non-critical workloads, right?
Also, if we reboot, we can't get the same machine, right?
Yes. Because and another thing is this capacity you are not going to get a life longer. So once your work finished, there will be a time limit. So you need to release this.
If any interruption in between, so we'll lose at the time also.
No.
If we have
once you started, I think there will be a buffer period, so you no need to have any worry on that part.
And like if we disconnect from our end, like internet issues or something, we can't get.
No. See, even you disconnect the internet, you already triggered all your workloads there, right? It's a cloud.
Yes.
Only your connection is getting lost, but not your workloads.
So we'll get any warning before it's going to expire, like that?
Like 2 minutes.
You can have custom agreement, because if you take my current couple of clients, we have our special agreement in place. So I can just share it with you all. If you all want, probably I can change the common template. I can share it with you all.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay, how many people have maybe not understood a couple of terminology? Because couple of terminology, even though you feel it's a really huge topic, but these are all very basic. Please go on mute.
Yeah, Vijay.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't quite understand the concept very well. I know what it's used for, but the concepts, that's what I'm lacking. If you can show more light, I appreciate.
Which one you want?
Spot instance.
Spot instance. Okay. See. Okay. Can you everyone go on mute? Okay. See the spot instance. Okay. Let me go and draw the diagram. Okay. See, you understand, Isaac, for reserved and the dedicated, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, correct.
Okay. So the spot instance, say for example, I have some requirement saying that my manager is saying we have some development work, and for that I need to test something with 10 Java servers. Okay, but this task, it's not like a production. So I need to do this, but there is no priority or anything. I need to just test and validate whether my code, whatever I develop, is correct or not. So what I'm doing is I'm going for a spot offering. I am creating the relevant capacity, minimum, maximum, and then I'm enabling it. So once I got the capacity, I am triggering all my testing, say 24 hours or some 10 hours. So once I tested, this capacity is getting released. The same you can go with dedicated. The same you can go with the reserved one. But if you go with the dedicated, each VM, okay, 1 CPU, 1 GB memory, cost you almost $4. The reserved capacity, if you go reserved instance method, if you go the same 1 CPU, 1 GB memory, it is costing around some $3 or say $2. But here you will get billed some 0.5 or even less than that. So now you tell me, Isaac, So for non-critical workloads, you are saving huge money here. This is not only one requirement. Similar to this, your project is having more non-critical workload, more non-critical testing. So now, as a technical person or as a senior person or during the interview, if you get onto this situation in any of your interview or exam, now you tell me you prefer to go with a Spot instance based offering or dedicated host offering or reserved instances offering.
A sports offering.
Yeah, why you are selecting this offering, Isaac?
Because of the price and what the work I want to do is for the temporary. It's not critical.
Yes, exactly. Right. So sometimes, even though the work is temporary, but it's more sensitive with respect to security, as I said, with respect to compliance, we have to go the dedicated host. There is no other option. But if it is going to be a temporary, if it is going to be a non-critical workload, then definitely we need to have such offering. Are you clear, Isaac?
Okay. Okay. So okay. I understand now.
So don't hesitate. Please feel free, and this is why this interactive way of session is going to more helpful to everyone. That is why I'm keep on requesting. Please be on mute whenever you want. You unmute it. This is going to be help you to put a very strong career in your life.
So Vijay, when you reserved instant, when you go to reserved, so nobody else can take it once you've been reserved by you.
Yeah. So once you started, so but this is not going to there is some limitation which I will share it with you tomorrow. So the Spot instance, there is some time duration. During that time you can have it. So if your workload saying that your testing once started, it is going to run for 6 to 7 days, those kind of a requirement, then there is a obligation you need to think of it. So I will share the exact table tomorrow and I will explain so that you will understand more clear to take it forward. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So,
yes.
what are all the available current available offerings? Can we able to see?
Oh yeah, you are able to see, right? You are able to see in your console itself.
Hello, Vijay.
Yeah.
Based on can choose it, right?
Yeah. There is something I want you to clear. I don't know if I'm not getting it right. For sport instance, from my own understanding about it, it's subjected to like a sort of a bidding, and you use it for an application that is not important, a non-critical application, maybe like bad processing or backup. And whenever Amazon needs it, it's at a very cheaper price, and whenever Amazon needs it, you're obligated to release it even without anything. So which means if another customer requested for it, so they can take it from you without any notification. Am I correct?
No, there are a couple of other way of offering also. You need to have, because if you are giving more business, there is a way to go for it. I'll just give you the table so that you can have it with you.
Okay.
Hey, hello Vijay.
I hope I'm not bored my session.
No,
I'm
Vijay.
audible. Hello.
Hi. Yes, go ahead.
Hi. Yeah, sir. While setting up an AWS account, so how to make a decision on availability zone?
No, that is what you remember. I give an example. First, you need to decide where you want to host your data, nature of your business. So that is going to give you the decision making where you want to store all the data.
Okay. So I was having one example like I have an IoT application running on North Virginia, but so what should be the factor?
So
that
North Virginia, right? So your IoT application. Yeah, go ahead. One by one you go. We will draw and I will explain.
Yeah. So just I am using an EC2 instance on it. So Ubuntu machine I have deployed an instance on it, and
Okay.
I'm using MySQL and a few other applications which I'm required for IoT. So
Okay.
I made decision to use North Virginia based on the price. So what was my learning that
no. That in that case you are not having any actual business requirement. Okay. So this IoT, why you are building in the cloud? So there will be a lot of sensor, maybe from the internet, going to send the data. Correct? Right. So in that case, if you are creating in North Virginia, and if you are making this as a business to the public, right, then definitely you need to have some valid business justification with the data storage. So if you are created in North Virginia, right, so in that case, from North Virginia also the sensor, the data going to store, or from India also going to store, or from Nigeria or some Africa also going to store. In that case, you need to first to decide what kind of a business you are going to do. The model, I think, because when it comes into any go live, then definitely you need to provide the data privacy policy. This is a really crucial nowadays in any of the business, for your information. So you need to set up a very clear privacy policy that US based, say for example, you are building some car based IoT, and all cars before going to the garage service, you are building this application. So US based cars, the sensors, everybody, they are going to connect here. But when they connected, based on the location, you also have Africa, all your servers, the internal sync, but the data is automatically going to go here based on the location, going to go here based on the location. This is how you need to design, you need to implement, otherwise you will get caught.
Yeah, that's what I was also having a doubt about backupping data. So we have whenever there is a backup, we have to make a backup. So how it works between different instances?
No. Not between two instances. So in this North Virginia, you need to take a backup and store it here. In this region, you reserve some capacity and store it here. There is a AWS backup service. Tomorrow you remind me, I will explain. Anyway, I'm going to explain AWS backup.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So this is how you need to whatever you define, whatever you support, you need to take care RTO, you need to take care RPO, you need to take care functional requirements, you need to take care non-functional requirements. Also, you need to take care all area data location. That's it.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay. So tomorrow I'm going to share the link in the WhatsApp group. So please ask all your questions